Welcome back to the channel, guys. Do you still like C6 platform? Especially the C6 Z06 with a 7-liter naturally aspirated engine? Guys, this is kind of back to where we started. We started building these cars. This is a 2007 behind me. I opened up my business a few years before this. So this is like my bread and butter. We've started from scratch with these cars and we're still building badass ones today. And it's awesome to be able to get one, almost a 20-year-old car with only 30,000 miles on it, and fine tune and perfect our package from 2007 to 2024 and make it even better for the end user, which is what we have standing behind us, which is Mr. Bonington's 2007 C6 Z06, all the way from California. So I talk in a lot of our videos about our 700 horsepower package for this vehicle. And as I tell y'all, guys, every package is just a starting point. It's an idea to send to the customer to let you know kind of a price point for horsepower. But after that, every build is specific for every customer's needs and goals, and this one is no different. Because he's in California, he had a few requirements. He wanted 600 rear-wheel horsepower, but wanted it to drive nice, okay? So the camshaft we had to keep, I won't say mild, but not crazy for max effort, okay? And also, being in California, 91 octane. So we had to come up with a plan on how we could give this customer the best of both worlds, to be able to drive a 600 rear-wheel horsepower car reliably, safely, and then also the street manners like he wanted. So first thing first, our 700 horsepower package is our complete heads and cam package. What makes his a little different from some of our other ones in the past is we decided to take the cylinder heads, we milled them a little bit to get a little bit more compression out of it. And you're thinking, crap, why would you do that if he's on 91 octane? Well, we did it because we ended up not only doing that to the cylinder heads, we have what I'll call it like our stage 2 camshaft in it. Then I talked to Mr. Bonington, and he is able to get E85 where he's at. So we went ahead and installed a new in-tank fuel pump, larger injectors, and a flex fuel sensor. So this customer can drive on 91 octane, beat on it if he wants with a little fuel additive, and or just mix a little bit of E85 in the tank. So he can have half a tank of 91 octane, and if he knows it's a Saturday night, he's gonna go play with his buddies, fill the rest up with E85 and have like 50% E in it, and it be safe. E85 is a colder burn in the chamber. It's like a higher octane, obviously, than regular fuel, and it burns better. So it gives us the capability of upping the compression to try to get more horsepower out of it, as well as makes it safe for the engine. So this one made, I think we made like 591 rear-wheel horsepower on, I think it was 93 octane, because I think it was low on fuel, so we filled it up here. And then with E85, I think we stopped at 607 rear-wheel horsepower. And these cars all baseline on my dyno roughly around 440. I think his was like 444 when it first came in. So again, guys, just a few little things that are different than some of the other ones that we do. Again, I speak with every customer. I want to make sure that I hit every goal and surpass their goal when I build a vehicle like this. And this thing turned out pretty freaking awesome. It came with us stock, but it did have a Corsa exhaust on it. So it is a little bit on the loud side, especially for California, but it sounds tremendous at idle. And then here in a few, I'll go drive it, so hopefully y'all can hear this thing at wide open throttle, rolling through the gears. So again, first thing y'all see, guys, our heads and cam package. You can't see the cylinder heads, but we pull the cylinder heads off, we do the valves, we change the guides out, because as y'all know, the LS7 has a guide issue, so all the guides get replaced. Intake exhaust valves get checked and changed. Obviously a complete CNC on the cylinder heads, and then like I said, in this case, we milled them. I won't say exactly what we milled them to, but we did mill them. Intake manifold, it is the MSD intake with a 103 throttle body, and as you can see, it has the Corsa carbon fiber cold air intake manifold. As always, American Racing long tube headers, and y'all can't see the camshaft in it, but like I said, around a stage 2 camshaft, and we run the ATI dampener on every car we build, not just for it being like if we do like a 10% underdrive, it's also because of durability compared to a 20-year-old car with the polyurethane from a factory balancer. We don't want that thing coming apart and hurting the engine. So this is a 30,000-mile car and engine, and it looked in good shape. But again, as always, we changed the lifters out with the camshaft, new valve springs, and everything that y'all can see here. And what you can't see, like I said earlier, we dropped the stock fuel tank, installed an aftermarket fuel pump, and larger injectors so the customer can run straight E85 if he wants to. Kind of the best of both worlds. And y'all can see, does have Toyos on it all the way around. So this thing's gonna be a blast to drive. When it comes to the drivetrain components, we updated the clutch as well as MGW short throw shifter. So I think I'm about to hop in it and go enjoy it and take y'all along with me for the ride. I'll try to get maybe one, maybe two little quick pulls in it just so y'all can see what it does and hear it as well. Jason, you got the keys, buddy. I'm not going nowhere. Thank you. So we are in first test drive of Mr. Bonington's C6 Z06. As I've probably said a million times, y'all know I love the 3-pedal cars when it comes to the C6 Z06s and the C6 ZR1 platform. The power to weight ratio in these cars just make them so much fun to drive. In the Z06 in particular, a big 7-liter engine, naturally aspirated. When we're done with it, it's a 700 flywheel horsepower setup with a nice cam in it, nice cylinder heads with the exhaust on it. He already had a catback, so it is a little bit louder than some of the ones that we build that we keep the factory mufflers on with the dual mode. With the MGW shifter, looks like we kept the stock knob on it, but you can definitely feel the short throw while driving this thing. Obviously with the aftermarket clutch pedal as well. The clutch, believe it or not, still feels like a factory clutch. And I'm going to try to get you guys a good little pull in this thing. Starting off in second gear and see what happens. I want to say the last C6Z we did, similar package. I think it ran like a 7.0, 60 to 130. Don't quote me on it, I can go back and look. But again, it just shows how well these cars run compared to other platforms that are even boosted, just because of the power to weight ratio and the way that the gearing is of this one, and then especially like the C6 ZR1, the transmission gearing is different. And again, guys, even with the other car and all cars, if it's not my car, I don't no lift shift them. So yes, they can run quicker than what I'm doing. I just like to give you an idea of what it can do with most people driving. That don't get your heart going, I don't know what will. Holy shit, that is fun as heck. Oh my goodness. Yeah, granny shifted it pretty good. Still went a 7.2. I'll take it in these conditions. And again, Mr. Bonington's car is from California, so we have a little bit on the conservative side because of the fueling he gets. And as I talked about previously, this car can run on 91 octane or E85. And we did that again so he can have a little safety. When he does want to get on it a lot, he can have 91 in it and then mix E85 with it. And it is a true flex fuel setup, just like all the cars we do. So we can run straight 91 or straight E85, or a little bit of mix of the both to keep this thing happy. Like I said, if he's just gonna go on cruises and car shows, he can have 91 octane in it. But when he goes to beat on it hard, I told him at least mix 50-50 E85 and 91, at least run E50. But I prefer to run, you know, as much E85 as possible, at least 60%, 70% E, while beating the crap out of this thing to keep this thing happy because of the compression and everything that we went with this setup. But with the camshaft in it, this thing drives phenomenal. I could have it at low speeds, no cam surge or anything like that. So again, for what it is and the power it made, she ran very well. And I'm gonna look over the log real quick. Yeah, I granny shifted 2 to 3 pretty good, and then 3 to 4 was a little bit better, but again, no lift shifting. This thing should be in the 6s. I'd say a high 6, 60 to 130. But again, I have a feeling Mr. Bonington will be more than satisfied with what it just did right there. So I'm gonna save this and then go get this thing cleaned up, head back to the shop, get it cleaned up, and then ready for transport so we can go all the way back to California for Mr. Bonington to enjoy. So you guys out there with C6 Z06s, C6 ZR1s, this is a 2007. Can't believe it's almost a 20-year-old car. It sounds insane to say, but when you keep them in this kind of condition, where are we at? 31,000 miles on the odometer, super clean. We love to build them. So reach out to our sales staff, guys, if you own a platform like this, and we can point you in the right direction of what package to go with that best fits your needs and goals. And again, this is a perfect example of how we don't just have one generic package for everybody. Mr. Bonington's car, because he's in California, we made the few adjustments by adding a fuel pump to it, adding bigger injectors to it, so we could run flex fuel for the E85. And then even with the cylinder heads, I don't want to go into crazy detail, but they are different than other ones that we did in the past, just because of his combination. And same with cam specs. That's a big factor when it comes into building these cars. That's why we have to talk to every customer beforehand to know exactly what their goals are and their needs, so we can make this package perfect for you. So again, contact our sales staff and we'll get you set up. Until next time, guys. Running stock car, very strong, especially if it's got 91 octane in it from California. Hopefully we can pick up a solid 150 rear wheel horsepower. Yeah, this is a clean ass car. 07 C6 Z06. Super clean, only 30,000 miles on it. Just got here from California. As always, we give it a once over, then baseline it before we start our package. He's getting a full heads and cam package, so trying to make as much horsepower as we can, naturally aspirated. No supercharger, no turbos added, just a nice NA setup that you can drive every day, or in his case, a weekend toy. So these LS7 engines are 427 cubic inches from the factory, 444 rear wheel horsepower stock. It slipped a little bit, so the torque number is 386. They're usually right around 400 rear wheel torque. And when we're done with it, the goal is 600 rear wheel horsepower naturally aspirated. It's gonna be sick. And the car is super clean for a black car that old. There's usually a whole bunch of scratches and stuff all over them. The interior is usually worn out. This thing looks like it's in good shape. So yeah, I'm done with my job, and I don't know who's getting ready to get their hands on it next, but on to the rack next. Dude, that thing is sick.
I like these NAs.
Me too.
Good size cam, you think?
Yeah. We're doing the same as the last one. I wanted to do bigger, but I forgot he was in California. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do E85. So you can do 91 or E85. Try to make 600. Sounds so good. So much fun to drive.
Now what?
I'm gonna go drive it. I'm gonna go have fun. Oh, I thought you were done.
Wait, what is that? Wait, what are we?
Oh, now we got one more to do. I'll do that one, then we're gonna drive both and have fun. It's what we do on Wednesday afternoons, okay? We go play with C6 Z06s and C7 Z06s. Corvettes everywhere. But yes, I'll say it again, C6 Z06 owners, C6 ZR1 owners, we love building them. I love building them. So please call us, hit us up, we'll get you taken care of. Now let's move on to C7 Z06.